Beena Modak,
And I am Yashwant.
parents of Satyajit and Chaitanya. Satyajit is 33 years old and has severe autism. Chaitanya is 29 and works for Microsoft. Ours was a typical middle class family, the usual goals of education, marriage, good career, and everything turned upside down once Satyu was diagnosed when he was 3.5. That was the year 1992, and after that it has been a roller coaster ride. Satyu went through a period of deterioration. Earlier he used to go to a normal school, then we had to think of a special school. From a special school it was like maybe he can do functional academics, and then it was that he needs to go to a sheltered workplace. So now at the moment Satyu works in Kshitij, which is a sheltered workshop, a vocational center for developmentally challenged adults.
With Satyu being diagnosed as autistic and with the prognosis that he is never going to lead an independent life, this opened a totally different dimension. We now had to factor in many I won't say just expenses, but many things, events which we had never envisaged in our life. At the stage he was in, it meant essentially expenses for a therapist, special therapist for communication, speech, etc. Then bearing expenses for a special workshop, then employing special instructor for his physical activities. Now as he grows older, he is becoming stronger, we are weak, we are getting older. We may have to employ some help to manage him. It doesn't stop here. Once we are no more, who takes care of him? So whether he goes to a residential setup and there whether he will again need a special help. So all this has to be factored in when you plan your finances.
So it was Chitra who first introduced us to MFA. Chitra had been a close friend and part of the Forum for Autism family. But when she joined MFA, she introduced us to the idea of financial planning.
Of course, there was always some genuineness in Chitra, which made me trust her. So the decision was finally made that I go to MFA, and I stopped worrying about this because I knew that most of my major overheads were taken care of by them. This trust factor also was responsible for me not going to a professional or commercial agency like a bank or a broker to plan my investments.
Because Chitra herself is a parent of a special needs adult, that sensitivity and empathy has permeated throughout the whole team, Their interactions with us are like they understand our issues, they understand our problems, from where we are coming, what are our priorities, what do we have to plan for.
One more important thing which MFA made me realize was this financial planning is not a static thing. As your priorities change and as your goals change in life, the financial planning also has to change. And this in my opinion, I would never have been able to do on my own.
Satyu is a severely autistic adult and will never be able to live independently. So even after us, his sibling will be the primary caretaker. And MFA had, from this stage, has involved our younger son Chaitanya also in the financial planning. And I think this was a very far-seeing factor and has made Chaitanya also feel very responsible.
Chitra is now after us to do a trust deed, and I was quite amazed. It was not her responsibility, but she said she will help me in doing this and why the trust deed is necessary and all this. This in my opinion is also very important factor, and it goes in the work culture, I guess, of MFA.
I can say we are truly relaxed. All that tension, worry about the future, anxiety, how will we have enough money for Satyu's care? Where will Chaitanya be? How will we be able to spend for his education and marriage? All these issues have been taken care of. So we can think of taking a holiday, a family holiday, which we would not have thought of earlier, or we can think of going on a cruise, or like I had this thing of going on a Europe trip, with the entire family. So these seem doable.
The emotions are very complex and they cannot be really summarized. And relieved, relaxed, I don't know what more we can add. I think we have said a lot. अजून काय सांगू शकू?